Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Charles at First 3. You can call me Charles. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I release educational Pokemon Unite content daily, so consider hitting that sub button, hitting that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. So today, what we're getting into, guys, is going to be a tier list. Ever since the mobile update, there has been lots of things to unpack, as far as nerfs to champions, buffs to champions, new items, and how it influences the meta. And so, you know, as well as new champions being introduced, right? So there's been a lot of things coming into, you know, the new mobile the new patch, the new mobile update that came out you know, not too long ago. So I'm going to be talking about that, guys. I'm going to be talking about the meta right now and the tier list of champions, and you know what we can expect from like S tier champions and all the way down to D tier. And so you guys know, like, you know, what you should be playing, what you should be investing your time in, and what is the best possible picks for you to climb in solo queue, or even to play in a 5v5 in a 5-man setting, right? So let's, without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so first, I think it's this champion has this Pokemon has been like kind of just ruining, just been kind of wreaking havoc on the meta and just causing chaos, and that is Venusaur. I think Venusaur is in S tier. Venusaur running around with Petal Dance and Giga Drain is just completely insane. You know, the 40% damage reduction, the lifesteal on Giga Drain, you know, just to be able to lifesteal the hell out of everyone, and just like he's putting special attackers on the map right now. And then given with the new items, pair this with Venusaur, it's just really good right now. Venusaur is an S tier pick, great for solo queue, great for 5-man play. You know, there's really nothing wrong with Venusaur, and you know, it's just like pure meta. Like ever since the buffs came out, like this guy's just been overtuned, and I suspect in the next patch update this guy is going to be getting a little bit of a nerf. So before that happens, I would highly suggest you guys be playing this champion in solo queue right now, you know, getting your money's worth out of him. Yeah. So next champion that we want to move on to is Gengar. Gengar is making your team a 4v5. Honestly, ever since the Gengar nerfs, it's just really hard to play Gengar. And you know, Gengar, you maybe if you're playing solo queue a lot, maybe you can make him work, but I just feel like you're honestly going to be making your team a 4v5 most of the time. Gengar is very on the bottom barrel of the tier list, because compared to all the other champions like G-Meter, you know, G-Meter, Hex Bomb, whatever it is, like, it's just not as powerful compared to some of the other junglers. And for having Gengar enter a jungle spot, well, you have Talonflame on the table. You know, like, why are we not picking Talonflame when we, you know, like, or we have Zorora on the table? Like, why are we putting Gengar in the jungle? And then, so now it comes to like, well, why is Gengar being played in lane? You know, we have Lucario on the table, or we have you know, we can get like even a good Greninja in lane. Like it's I would prefer that over a Gengar, you know. So Gengar is like really bad right now. I would highly suggest stay away from this champion. Obviously you can play it if you want, but I just, you know, giving you that fair warning that it's going to be hard to be climbing in the ranks, because your champion is at the bottom of the tier list. All right, moving on, we have Mr. Mime. I think Mr. Mime is in I think he's in B tier, honestly. For support, he does quite a bit of damage. He's a really good support. He has good utility, you know. Yeah, I just think he's in B tier, and the only reason why I'm not putting him in A tier is just because I see a lot of people pick up Mr. Mime, and because of the mechanics that you need for Mr. Mime, I see a lot of people fail with him. So that's the only reason why I'm not going to be putting him in an A tier. If he was a little bit easier to play, then yeah, he can definitely go into A tier. But I think what makes him B tier is mainly the population of not knowing how to play him, and like his skill cap as a Pokemon, you know, to really get the most efficiency and to get the most out of Mr. Mime, you're gonna have to have you know, some mechanics. So that's why I'm putting him in B tier. Next, let's go with Snorlax. Snorlax, I think, is still an S tier defender. I think he's really great right now. A heavy slam, block, two really outstanding good abilities here, and can really dictate the team fight, can really look for good PO on your carries, can look for hard engages to, you know, to really flank the team, really flank the enemy team, get them in a bad pinch, get inside with a nice block. You know, like, what more do I need to say about Snorlax? He's a very impressive laner as well. You know, it's hard to like really knock this guy down, and you know, it's hard for like Snorlax not to be an S tier because his kit is just so well, his lane is so well, his objective focus is so well, his mid to late game is very good as well. You know, there's not much that, you know, you can say that is wrong with Snorlax. So with that being said, let's go into the next Pokemon, and that is going to be Gardevoir. I think Gardevoir is, honestly, I think Gardevoir is making your team a 4v5. And so the reason why I say this is because Gardevoir's lane is so atrocious that it's hard to get Gardevoir to late game, because once Gardevoir is late game, you know, yeah, she does a lot of damage, but most of the time, you know, when you like, I never lost to a Gardevoir. Like, that's the thing. Like, whether you're low elo or high elo, like, I just feel like this champion just does nothing. And you know, it's just so hard for this champion to get rolling, and by the time late game comes around, it just feels like you're not there. It just feels like you're always behind on this champion. And so, you know, I really do believe like Gardevoir does make your team a 4v5, because as far as special attackers go, like, why are we picking Gardevoir compared to like, let's not even say Venusaur, right? What if we're just saying Ninetales or Cramorant, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to really pick Gardevoir there, right? So yeah, that's why I think, you know, compared to the other picks in the meta right now, that's why Gardevoir is like making your team a 4v5 category. Next, let's go to Absol. Absol solo queue, honestly, I think has rose a lot considerably. And the reason why I'm putting Absol in B tier is because the double crit items to run on Absol, you know, Razor Claw, you can go Razor Claw Scope, and you can just go like Focus Band, and dude, you do so much damage. It's insane. Absol does have a trash late game. He really does. But the thing is that Absol, like, his early game is so good, it's hard to say, it's hard to put him down in like, you know, like COD tier, because like, he's just so good right now at controlling the map as a jungler. And if you really know how to jungle in Pokemon Unite, then Absol is, you know, it's gonna be a great like elo stomper and like really great way to climb the ranks, you know. So, but once you get into higher ranks, then it's like, then Absol starts falling off. Then people know how to deal with him as well. So that's why Absol is going in B tier for right now. So next, we're gonna go to Garchomp. I think Garchomp is honestly D tier. And so Garchomp, with the buffs that Garchomp has received recently, you know, it helped him out with the items that he's received recently. It helped him out, but because he's so late game, you know, and because the different champions on the tier list, I just don't see him as being anything farther than D tier. And so I really want Garchomp to come back into the meta. I really want him to be meta. I think he's a really fun champion. I think he has a nice character design, but his numbers just aren't there realistically. So I think he's gonna be put in D tier. I feel like this is only for like the really hardcore one tricks Garchomp players that play him, and honestly, you know, it just feels like you have to play so much better on this champion than you do on this champion, right? Like you can pretty much autopilot on Venusaur, and you have to do everything perfectly right for Garchomp, and it just feels so unforgiving when you mess up or if you get behind in lane. And then if you're putting Gibble in lane, like you don't want to do that because he's getting stunted by, you know, the laning phase, and people can just bullet him out. And now if we're putting Gibble into the jungle, well now, you know, like even Absol is like a better jungler than Gibble, so it's like, you know, like what's going on here really, you know? So yeah, that's my thoughts on Garchomp. Let's move on to the next Pokemon. Next we're gonna have Lucario. I think Lucario is still S tier. You know, you can go extreme speed, you can go power punch, and he's just great overall. He's a great duelist. He can really 1v1. He is very tanky. He but yeah, there's not really much you can do against him because, well, yeah, range is supposed to counter him, but he has like so many dashes, and then he has a shield with more base movement speed when he gets slow. It's a passive when he gets low health, and then, you know, his Unite move, you know, it's solid. Like it's not the best, but you know, if you hit them point blank with it, it's solid. You're running score shield, so you're getting a lot of easy scores in. You're wreaking havoc on the lane. You know, Lucario is just great. And then you have an execute power punch, you know, great for objective secure. You know, like this guy can really do it all. If you guys are looking for a champion to main in solo queue, I would highly suggest Lucario. If you want to be that more tanky all-rounder type of player, I think Lucario is just a great pickup. He's just a menace in solo queue. He's a menace in solo queue, and he's a menace in 5v5 play. So, you know, Lucario is just really top notch up there. And I suspect that there's gonna be a nerf incoming for him, but it's just, I don't know, man. Maybe they'll bring out more skins before they nerf Lucario, right? To get everyone's money. So we'll see. Only time will tell. Next, let's move into the next Pokemon, and we're gonna have Crustle upcoming here. So Crustle, I think, is B tier. You know, he's not really great. Doesn't do anything really that good, you know. Like compared to the other picks, it's like, why are we picking Crustle? We have Snorlax on the table, we have Blastoise on the table. Like, why are we picking Crustle? You know what I mean? So Crustle, I think, is B tier. You know, he just, like, yeah, you can go cheese with like Scope Lens and like Stealth Rock. You go cheese with Score Shield and the Unite move, but that's just like really cheesy play. And I feel like more consistent and more of like just overall better consistency in win rates and just being a better, you know, tank and defender for your team, just pick up Snorlax or Blastoise. Next we have Greninja, and let's see. I think Greninja is going to be. I think Greninja is going to be an A tier. And the reason why I say Greninja is going to be an A tier is because he has counters right now that keeps him from S tier. Because there's a lot of things that you could play in the jungle that, you know, doesn't really work with Greninja, right? That, like, there's a lot of things that you can pick over Greninja, then and, you know, just be better off in the jungle. And same thing with lane. There's a lot of things that you can pick in lane that would just be better than Greninja. So that's why I'm putting him at A tier for right now. The nerfs, you know, did hurt him, you know, in the past. So, you know, I think he's still a solid champ and you can still carry with him. But I just would prefer to pick other champs if they're on the table, right? So Greninja is going to be left in A tier for now. Next, we have Talonflame. And so this is like one of the counters to Greninja, right? Is Talonflame, because if you put Talonflame in the jungle, it just feels like Talonflame just all over Greninja, and just Greninja can't do anything from there, you know? and especially like once Talonflame gets a lead, like say goodbye to objectives, right? Like this guy is so hard to catch. He steals objectives really well. His objective control is very, very good. You know, him being able to control the map and being able to get everywhere. He's a very slippery champion as well. You know, Talonflame, I just think is very, very good right now. And so I honestly think he's an S tier. I think he's an S tier jungler. I think he's a very, very great jungler, and he's great for anyone to pick up right now. And you can make a mess in solo queue, cause havoc, cause chaos in solo queue, and really, you know, dismantle an enemy team. And even in 5-man play, like Talonflame is really, really good, I think. And so yeah, so you know, those are my thoughts on Talonflame. Man, you could take, you know, you can take Brave Bird, you can take Fly, and you know, and with the items that he has as well, like, yeah, he's just a really strong champion. Next we're gonna have Charizard. Man, I think Charizard is gonna be C tier. I think Charizard is like good. Like, he's decent in the jungle, but he's not great. He's decent in lane, but he's not great. Like, there's so many more picks. I think he is better than Garchomp though, but there's just so many more picks. Like, you know, it just doesn't feel like Charizard's really good right now. And the items did help Charizard a little bit, but you know, it's just not enough to like get him to propel him up to like B tier or A tier. You know, there was a little bit buffs for him, and I was thinking hopefully maybe he can go up at least to B tier, but it doesn't look like that for right now. And it looks like the meta is just shaping around more of these other champions rather than, you know, Charizard. So it's kind of leaving him in the dust right now. So next we have Zora, and I think Zora is a great pickup right now. I think he's S tier. I think he's a very well-rounded character in my opinion. He's able to do a lot of damage. He's able to take the jungle role quite easily, but also if your jungle role gets taken by, say, let's say a Talonflame, right, or even a Venusaur, well, you can play Zora in lane. He's really not that bad, and you can play him like a Lucario. And I do it a lot on stream. And playing Zora in lane and playing him as a top lane split pusher, or you could play him in the bot lane, you know, you can really get away with a lot. And he really, and Zora is one of the few champions that can really go head to head with Lucario and really take him out in the 1v1, I think. As long as you play the fight correctly, right? As long as Lucario doesn't kite out your discharge, I think you pretty much just win the fight versus Lucario every time. And by the way, guys, like I said, I live stream now, and so I live stream primarily over on trovo.live/CharlesTheCharge3. So go ahead and check it out. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want to talk about builds, meta, need help, or if you guys just want to hang out and play some games, you know, feel free to come by and chat and, you know, hang out with me. And you know, we're building a pretty cool community over there, so it's pretty fun. So hopefully I see you there, guys. So next, let's get into the next Pokemon, and this is gonna be Cinderace. And I think Cinderace, I don't know what I want to do with Cinderace. He's not B tier. I'm debating on S or A tier right now, but honestly, I think he's S tier. And the only reason why I say this is because Powerball got buffed, Flame Charge got buffed as well, and like Blaze Kick and Feint is still really good on Cinderace. And like, you have supports like Blissey, right, in the meta right now. You have supports like Eldegoss, right, that really propels Cinderace, you know, to even higher. And he's really good in the jungle as well. He's good in the jungle. He's good in lane. He has really good objective focus as well, I think, and he has really good DPS. He has good use of the new items. So I think Cinderace is, you know, he's gonna be an S tier for a little bit. And yeah, just because of just because of the items, just because of his skills right now, and the stats that he has and his objective control, I think he really can match up with any of the other picks here in the S tier or A tier category, right? So next, let's go with Eldegoss. I think Eldegoss is like S tier. Really good champion to have. Really good heals, really good shields, really good unite move, and Eldegoss, it like really makes these guys even more S tier than they should be. Like, because if you pair Eldegoss with any of these guys in the S tier or even A tier, right? It just really bumps them up a peg. And I think Eldegoss is really great in sleeper, support. I don't really see it too much in low elo, but as I climb the ranks in high elo and master plus, right, like you start seeing a lot more Eldegoss when you get to high elo master. So yeah. So that's where Eldegoss is going to be on S tier. Cramorant, I'm going to put Cramorant in A tier. Yeah, I think Cramorant is in A tier. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's an A tier. He got knocked. Honestly, he could be A tier, B tier. Honestly, I'm gonna put him in B tier, and the only reason why is because the reason why is mechanics play a lot in this champion. If you're not landing your combinations correctly, if your lane isn't good, I think this is what makes Cramorant go into B tier. The mechanics of champions, and I think that's what a lot of content creators don't really talk about, because like, yeah, Cramorant could be very well put in A tier, but what they don't really explain is that you need mechanics to play this champion, and if you don't have the mechanics to play this champion, and if you don't have a really good lane fundamental, he's a lot harder to play, and he's a lot harder to win with. So like now he like drops off a peg, I think, just because of the difficulty of the champion, so I think that's what we kind of have to take into consideration, because when you have like just a Venusaur, right, it's like why are we picking Cramorant when we have Venusaur? When you have Venusaur, like there's just no really good reason, and it's not really good, it's nothing insane, and his ulti got nerfed as well, so I think B tier kind of suits Cramorant right now. Blastoise, I think Blastoise is in S tier. He's an S tier defender. He's a really good defender. Does a lot of damage. His ulti is sick, man. His ulti is insane for this guy. He can really tear it up in solo queue. He has really good objective control. He's really tanky. He responds well to the new items, and he just does a lot for the team. He has really good peel. He has really good CC. I think Blastoise overall is a really nice defender to match Snorlax. So if you don't want to play Snorlax, I think Blastoise is the next step defender that you should be playing, and vice versa, right? So next we have Pikachu. I think Pikachu just goes in the C tier. He's a little bit better than Garchomp, only because his laning is impressive. Like, Pikachu's lane is like really good, but the thing is like outside of lane, and when it comes to like mid to late game, what does he do? Like, he doesn't really do anything, and he just doesn't have the numbers to compete with some of the other people up here. Because like, if you want a special attacker, like why are we not just going Cramorant or Venusaur, right? Or hell, even Ninetales, right? Like, why are we not playing these picks? Why are we playing a Pikachu, right? So, if you are the person playing Pikachu in my game, please stop. Please, dear God, just stop. Like, you're not helping no one. Next we have Ninetales, and I think Ninetales just goes in honestly, is Ninetales A tier or B tier? Jeez, I don't know. I would say Ninetales is gonna be A tier, and let me tell you why. And so here's the thing, guys. When it comes to Ninetales at Cramorant, Like my argument is, and it's okay if some people may not agree with me, and you know people may think I'm stupid about this, but here's the thing: when I think about Ninetales and Cramorant, this is what separates them mainly for me on the tier list, is that Cramorant used to be A tier, right, with his Unite move, and you know with his damage to be able to take CS so easily from the enemies. But now you know all that's got nerfed. You know his mechanics are still up there. Ninetales, you know, you don't really need mechanics to play Ninetales, and Ninetales, you know, does a lot of great things like Aurora Veil Gleam is still really good. You know, you could, you know, the choice specs is gonna be good on Ninetales as well. Like, you know, or you could just run, you know, the double band with Buddy Barrier still, and that's still fine. And Ninetales, the mechanics to play Ninetales is really not there. Like, you don't need mechanics. And so that is like the main reason for me where you could put this champion in S tier, I mean A tier. You could put this champion in A tier, have decent damage, have decent objective control with your ulti, with your range, you know, with, you know, and be able to control the objectives, be able to control the lane as well. You pair Ninetales up with a Snorlax, with a Blastoise, with a Mamoswine, and you know, you just have really good lanes. I think these guys also make Ninetales like really good as well, because even if you put Ninetales with an Eldegoss, you know, it's not that bad, and Ninetales is pretty damn good. And so this is like a champion where you can pick up and play 10 games with Ninetales and you feel absolutely comfortable, guys. So that's why I think Ninetales is going to be put in the A tier for me. Okay, so next let's go into a support character here. It'll be Wigglytuff, and I think Wigglytuff is B tier because of the nerfs. It dropped Wigglytuff all the way from S tier to B tier. You know, you could still very well, you know, carry with this champion, but I just think if you're gonna play a support, you know, why are we not playing Blissey? Why are we not playing Eldegoss? You know what I'm saying? Like, so these are the things to think about, you know, or even Mr. Mime, right? But if you don't want to play Mr. Mime and, you know, worry about his mechanics, then yeah, Wigglytuff is good. But yeah, Wigglytuff, you know, good champion for solo queue. Not the best. That's all. Slowbro going into A tier. He's what makes Slowbro really good is because picks like Greninja, picks like Lucario, Zora, Cinderace, you know, Slowbro just locks him down with Surf and Telekinesis, and you know, Cinderace can't do anything, Zora can't do anything, Lucario can't do anything, or even Greninja or Ninetales, right? Or even Talonflame, or even Venusaur. Like he has a good response to a lot of these champions, so this makes him move up a lot on the peg, a lot on the tier list, and this puts him into a higher rank. So I really think Slowbro is A tier. He's not in S tier because I still think Snorlax and Blastoise really hold those spots as S tier defenders, but he's in A tier. He's close behind them. And you know, if you guys are looking for a defender to main, and you guys don't really feel like playing Snorlax, or you're tired or you're burnt out of playing Blastoise, I think Slowbro is a good second pick, and he's really good in this meta right now to be able to just hard lock down a lot of these people. Okay, and Machamp, I'm gonna put Machamp in C tier. His Unite move has a little damage. He has submission. He has good chase down potential, good lockdown, really fast, and just lock him down. But you know, you're not playing Machamp. You don't really want to play Machamp in lane because Machamp in lane is just horrendous. Machamp in jungle is decent, but it's like, you know, we have other picks, like we have Greninja, we have Venusaur, we have, you know, Talonflame, Zora, Cinderace, you know, in jungle. Like, using a jungle spot on this champion is just not really worth it, either in solo queue or in team play. So I would just put Machamp in C tier for now. Blissey, been talking a lot about Blissey, and for a good reason. Blissey is S tier. Blissey is able to buff a lot of these champions, a lot of these attackers, man. And you know, Cinderace just loves Blissey. Zora, Talonflame, Lucario, Greninja, they just love Blissey. Everybody loves Blissey, man. Like Blissey is such a good champion, and you're able to do a lot with your ulti, able to do a lot with safeguard or soft boiled, you know, like and helping hand is just so good as well. Like, you know, Blissey is Esther. So yeah, I would definitely play it. Really good solo queue pick, really good for 5-man picks as well. You know, especially if you have a duo too. If you're playing like a Cinderace, if your duo partner is playing Cinderace or Zora or any of these top picks, right? And you pair that with a Blissey, it doesn't even have to be a lane, right? You know, it's just gonna do so much for you guys. Like, trust me, this is an OP, like just get someone else to play like Cinderace or Zora, or, you know, just even a good ninja, right? And Blissey would just have a field day with them. Really good synergies, so you guys would climb really fast. So last but not least, we have Mamoswine. I think Mamoswine is going to be an A tier. I don't think he's necessarily broken. I think he's pretty much well balanced. The only thing that really blocks Mamoswine from coming into S tier is his animations, really. His animation locks. They lock him in animation. And, you know, the damage. Like, Blastoise has more damage. I feel like Snorlax does a little bit more than Mamoswine. Yeah, I just feel like he's an A tier. I don't think he has enough to bump him up to the S tier. If he had a little bit more damage on any of his abilities, then, you know, maybe you can swap him into the S tier. But for now, I think he's an A tier. I think he's a really balanced champion, and, you know, I think, you know, he's pretty fun to play with. You know, so yeah. So that's going to be the tier list right now. I'm going to update it as soon as Sylveon comes out. So, you know, I'm thinking right now, guys, Sylveon is pretty much gonna be either S or A tier, right off the bat. Like, you know, it's gonna be really shocking to me if this champion is like anything below A tier, right? Like, it's gonna be really shocking to me. So, you know, just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, so that is going to be my my tier list guide. Hopefully I didn't spend too long talking about this. I just wanted you guys to get a brief rundown of each champion, of where they fall in the meta and where they fall on that tier list bracket. Okay, guys. And then you know, I'm gonna be putting out a tier list for items in a few days, so be sure to check that out as well. If you guys are curious about, you know, what items now to be running on certain champions and this and that, and like that, like, you know, just where they fall on, you know, the tier list bracket as well. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. It really helps out the channel, guys. We're growing almost 1K subs, so we're almost there. Let's help us get there, guys. And so I hope you guys have a nice day, a fantastic day. Take care, guys, and until next time, see you out on the Rift.